Here we are.
Yep. Another episode.
Welcome to the Three Splinters podcast, everybody.
Three splinters?
So,
There's two.
Well, there is only two tonight. Ronnie will not be with us tonight due to some family things that are going on. We're actually recording this later than usual because we've all had something going on this week.
Ooh, doggy. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. That made sense. Who, doggy?
Yeah, it did make sense, unfortunately.
Yeah, doggies.
For both of us.
Same day.
So, yeah. Here we are. We're doing an episode tonight. This will be the... Hold on a second. Let's look at my calendar real quick. Because... Let's see. This is coming out... Okay, no. So we will still be recording one more episode this month, and then we will be into January. Once we get back into January, we will be back on a weekly routine, everybody.
Yes.
Which I got to be honest, I was talking to Nicole about it today, and I mentioned to her, because she said, you guys rescheduled the podcast till tonight, right? And I said, yeah. And I looked at her and I said, you know what? I'm not going to lie. I kind of miss doing it every week. I know I'm glad that we did it to take a little bit of a break because these are such busy months, November and December, family wise.
Oh, yeah.
But I really do, because now I agree with Ronnie. The whole, it kind of gets you out of your rhythm. You know what I mean?
And I like hanging out with you guys once a week.
Well, that not so much, right?
Bite me.
I have to see you on the weekends, and that's more than enough.
Oh my God.
But
this is such a busy time of year, and I'm trying not to forget things. Whether at work or at home and company. We had 16 people for Thanksgiving. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Wow.
It was good that I ate way too much food. I remember driving home, and I was legitimately having a problem. I'm like, oh, I can barely drive. I'm so full. I overate.
Oh my God. And then it was such a blessing having Frankie and Amy and Gray here.
Mm-hmm.
God, him in the shop every day saying, hey, he calls me Pops. He goes, hey, Pops, what are we doing today out here? And I showed him how to sharpen knives, and it was fun. Did I talk about this yet?
Mm-hmm. I think on the last episode. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
It was after Hartville. When you got back, you talked about the knives that you gave him.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yep.
Okay, I just got to remember my timeline. Okay.
Well, see, that's the other problem too with doing 2 weeks is so much stuff happens over those 2 weeks that you forget. I remember the first one that we did. I actually wrote down notes just so I could remember. But I wanted to hit a little bit real quick on the whole name change thing. We've actually gotten quite a bit of feedback from that. Mm-hmm. It appears like the Three Splinters is kind of the fan favorite on that one. Yeah. And I also like the idea of Steve coming up with the artwork for it, because he had mentioned he had an idea on what he wanted to do so we could put it on swag and stuff. So we haven't changed the name yet, everybody, but it is coming.
I had two of the... I know Marty came up to me, and Marty said... at Mueller this past weekend, he said, I really like the Three Splinters.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had dinner with Dirk and Stephanie and a few people, and I think they said they liked the Three Splinters. So,
I mean, it accomplishes what we're trying to do, and I really, really love the idea of a character Three Stooges type logo. I've always wanted our logo to be the three of us in a cartoon character style.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about that. I like that design.
Certainly.
Yes. And then each Steve, take notes on this, because we could have the three of us. We'd just take one of the pictures we have of the three of us together, and then each one of us is holding some sort of woodworking tool, right? And so then that would go with the whole Three Splinters. Splinters deals with wood. I think it'd be a good change.
Mm-hmm.
And we can still call the con. That's what it is.
Splintercon.
Con. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, man.
That sounds way better than Green Suiters Con.
And our patrons will be splinters.
Yeah, I like it.
And
No,
if
there's
so,
there's still Green
if
Suiters.
another group breaks off, we'll call them the splinter group.
The spl-
Hey,
I
Mo.
like it. I like it. Three splinters. It's probably going to be what it is. We just need to double check with Ronnie. Anyway, so that's that.
Okay.
We don't have any new patrons. We
Oh
haven't had
man,
a new
bummer.
one in 4 weeks.
Bummer.
I do feel like because we switched to every other week, like they're like, I'm not signing up right now. But I will give them the benefit of the doubt and say that this is a time of year where you're spending money on others. So maybe they don't want to invest in being a part of the greatest Patreon community on the interwebs.
Interwebs.
The
Interloops.
interwebs.
Cool.
So anyway,
Hey,
that's that.
any administration stuff like giveaways or anything?
No,
Nope.
I still don't. Because we weren't doing as many episodes November and December, I've actually
Oh
kind of
yeah, yeah,
avoided
yeah.
reaching out to brands because we obviously want to reciprocate with them.
Hmm.
However, we still do have some items, swag items that we are going to give away, festival swag items. I actually found some more stuff down in my basement the other day.
Hmm.
So I'm going to add that to the drawer, but we need to replenish that.
Cool.
We're running low. We're going to need
I
to
might,
raid your stockpile.
I might have a few.
Yeah, a few hundred.
Hey, I can't take it with me. It's been given
Yeah.
to me over the years.
Well, I mean, I was collecting all that tchotchke stuff,
Hmm.
and I have a bunch of it. But then it was like, there's so many other people out there that I think would get so much more value or be so much more happy with it. Like for me, I'm really starting to get obsessed with not being so cluttered.
Hmm.
Maybe that's something we can actually talk about tonight since you're kind of in the process of doing the same thing.
Ooh,
But
absolutely.
I'm really starting to like hate busyness, and that kind of stuff is just busy, right?
Hmm.
It's funny because I've been watching every time I edit one of my videos or I watch any of my content, I'm starting to notice a trend in like my thumbnails and stuff since most of the stuff that I'm doing is like on that assembly table. So I'm always having that like tan color of the MFTs
Hmm.
and then the super busy background. So I've been like changing the color of the background, but then I see how busy it is behind me. It's just distracting. So like I
Hmm.
think I need to prioritize, designing this new miter saw station and getting it built because I want that entire back wall to just be super, super clean. I don't want
Hmm.
any of that stuff up there. I want it all behind cabinets.
By the way, I watched the entire video of you and Leo. That was so cool.
Did you like it?
I loved it. I loved it. Like, you could really stab somebody with this.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just his train of thought. It's just, I thought the world of it. It was really cool. You had Max in there. Mm,
Well, that was
perfect.
one part that I really was happy about is that we went back out that evening and Nicole brought Max out and then the whole like how I start the video and he's sanding and then he hands it to me and he taps the box.
Yeah.
So like for me to do it like here it's time for you to sand that kind of thing. I had so many people comment on that because I put it on Instagram and every person the thing that they picked up is like I love how he tapped the box for you to sand it.
Yeah.
And he did that like 4 times. I had a bunch of footage of it. But the video, I will say, is the absolute worst video I think I've ever put in terms of performance on my channel, which maybe we can kind of dive into that a little bit. But
I'm
I don't care.
okay. Good. I'm glad you said that. I That is a freaking awesome video.
It's a great memory.
It is unbelievable. We can go back and look at those two little guys,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and just sorry, maybe I'm a little one-sided on this, but it was great. I'm so
No,
glad you
I
made
mean
that video.
the feedback on it has been good. I
Yeah.
don't want like, the comments on it are excellent. I don't think that there was a single negative comment. There are not a lot of comments on it because it has so few views. But so I thought, so when I originally went to go edit that film, and when I originally went to go shoot the film, which is why it took so long to finally film it, I had that DIY kit for months. It has to do with time, right? Like I don't get a lot of time with Leo out there because Monday through Friday he's at school. I try to not be out in the shop in the evenings. And if I'm out there with Leo, you better believe that Max is going to want to come too because Max copies, he copies everything Leo does. So that would just make it super difficult. And then I was like, well, we could just do little bits and pieces at a time. The problem with that is that then I'm having to put everything away in between, and I do other things in my shop. I have YouTube videos I need to film, and I just didn't want that stuff to be in the way. So finally, he had a day home from school. So my whole idea going into it was like, do I kind of make this like an instructional on like how to put this thing together? And then I opened it up and I looked at the instructions. I'm like, oh, the instructions are really easy to understand. And then Leo, the camera was filming, and Leo was just saying goofy stuff. And so then I just kind of rolled with it, and I came in and started editing it. And all I did was I was watching all the footage. And when Leo would say something funny, I would cut that part out and then get rid of all the dumb stuff in between. And before I knew it, I went back and watched it, and it was just like almost like outtake after outtake after outtake of Leo doing things. And then I was like, okay, this is fun. But I thought that video would connect with a lot of people. And I think where I was wrong in that is it definitely, like, I thought that a lot of people would connect with that and go, this would be because it's not a super expensive box considering it could last his entire lifetime. But I don't think a lot of my audience is in their 30s and 40s with 6-year-old and 2-year-old kids. I think the majority of my audience is actually much older than that, and their kids are like my age, right? So,
hey now.
Yeah.
You know what? It's a good family video. I think that will connect with so many people over time. And
Yeah, I think so.
what I liked about it was you were with your boys and you were being dad.
Yeah.
And I couldn't, Jason, I couldn't stop watching it.
I was the same way when I
know
watched it.
I know you're my family, but I just could not stop watching. It was so damn good.
Yeah.
And it was just like Leo is gonna be a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
He is and it was fun with him this weekend when we're moving Pascal. He was really helping.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
He's definitely becoming more independent with stuff like that. He likes to be a part of especially whatever it is that I'm doing. If I need something or I'm doing something, he'll, jump in front of me. Let me do it. Let me do it. Like, so I like that part of it. But yeah, I don't know. I was really hoping the video would have done better, but now that I think about it, I've had a few days to kind of process it. I go back and look and I'm like, it makes sense. That's not my audience. My audience is not that. So it was a great time. I'm so glad that I have it on there because I can watch it whenever I want.
Yeah.
But honestly, really surprised as well that I was actually talking to Gersner about it to see, and I think they've had a lot of traffic that went to the website, but I don't think it's actually resulted in any sales, which is kind of surprising because that little tool,
Christmas.
Yeah, that little tool chest is like, I think it's on sale right now. It's like $270.
That's it.
And the one we had is Bolivian rosewood.
Jesus.
And yeah, you can put that thing together in a few hours and then like have it ready for finish. You could even finish it. I mean, it's very, very simple to put together, and it turned out really nice. Like, wait till you see it. It's great. Leo already has it in his bedroom.
It looked great in the video.
Yeah.
It's just some of the things that he was saying was awesome.
Yeah.
You could like stab somebody with this.
You could stab a bad guy.
You could stab a bad guy.
There's so much more footage. I mean, there was like 3 hours, 4 hours worth of footage.
Mm,
But
cool. What else you
anyway,
been up to?
moving. Um,
We
yeah,
moved a friend this weekend. Oh my God. We are not going into it.
no,
But
my
my
back is
God.
a little sore. Yeah, moved, and I thought I wasn't going to have to do any moving again for quite some time. But you got to help out friends. Um,
Jesus.
it was good though. I'm happy for them. Um, man, I don't really know. Like, I don't. I'm trying to think what we've been up to. Obviously, this week was not a super great week for either you or myself.
Mm,
So this week, I haven't. If I'm being honest, I haven't done much of anything this week
mm,
until today. Um, I was with you over the weekend, as usual,
hmm.
and I don't really remember what I did last week. Ooh, I do have an announcement to make though.
Drum roll, please.
So Nicole and I were talking, and she asked me. I think something came up about like what I wanted for my birthday, and I told her I was like, I would really love. She was just in Arizona for a conference
Hmm.
at a golf resort,
Ooh,
Kierland, which is a very, very, very swanky, nice
nice.
golf resort, and it was a for her law firm that she works at. But I told her I was really wanting to take a golf trip to Arizona. So guess what I'm doing next month?
Nice. You
And
go you going to Arizona.
I'm going to Arizona the week of my birthday, and I'm
Nice.
actually going to be joined by one of our patrons.
No kidding. Who's
Yeah, Rick
that?
Rick Bino. He's who I
Nice.
stayed with at the Texas Woodworking Festival.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
but he is a patron of ours and of mine. And yeah, he's a golfer. So I asked him, would you be willing to go? I actually asked Jason Hibbs and Craig if they wanted to go meet me down there. And unfortunately, they cannot make it because they've been traveling so much lately. So it's going to be me and Rick. And I believe it looks like his son in laws are going to be coming.
Oh, cool.
And then I haven't seen my brother in law or my niece and nephew in years. And it's my niece's birthday. And I'm going to go there to eat dinner with them for their birthday. And then we are going, or I'm going to go play golf with my brother in law on that Saturday. So I'm going to go from like Monday or Tuesday through Sunday.
Oh, wicked cool.
Yeah. So I'm excited. It's going to be
Hmm.
fun. That's a new development. Other than that, I've just been out in the shop stockpiling YouTube videos.
Hey, where in Arizona?
So I'm from Tempe, but we're going to be staying in Scottsdale.
Nice.
Yeah. You were
Nice.
just in Scottsdale, weren't you?
Yeah, a year ago. My friend lives up in the northern part of Scottsdale,
Yeah.
just outside of Carefree. Really nice area, man.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, there's a PGA tournament just across the street at something like Black Diamond or something like that.
Yeah.
It's really really swank. He lives in a freaking mansion, dude. It's nice,
Yeah. Scottsdale's
gorgeous.
a nice place, and it's full of top rated golf courses in the US. I actually sent a,
Hmm.
a list to Rick today, and it was like the top 11 golf courses. And I was like, we will certainly be playing on some of these courses while we're there. The problem is, though, is that Arizona in January and February, that's
Oh yeah.
prime season because it's like 65 degrees. The courses are in
Hmm.
immaculate condition.
Hmm.
And with that, you pay. Like these are
Yep.
$200+ per round golf courses.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Heck, they may be way more expensive than that now because one of the
Hmm.
courses that I want to play, I played when I was in high school. And I think we paid like $150 for the twilight rate in the summertime. And that course is probably well over $300, but it's like one of the top courses in the United States.
So
So,
when I used to golf in Fort Lauderdale, I did it for about 8 months, and it was I had a hell of a time. But we would go and you'd see like this, like because it's a golf course on every corner in Fort Lauderdale. You just don't know it. So you go into a community and it's all these double wide trailers and it's a nice clean area. Then all of a sudden there's a golf course in the middle of it. And in the summertime, everything burns out,
Hmm.
right? $5 green fees.
Right. Yeah.
And you just chew up the course. It's awesome. And they don't care.
Well, one
You
of
just can
the
be careful of gators.
yeah, ugh. One of the so I learned how to play golf in Arizona when I was growing up. And there was a little 9-hole golf course, executive 9-hole golf course. And I promise I'll stop talking about golf after this, but um this little executive 9-hole golf course called Shalimar Country Club. And it was owned by the Neuheisels. And the Neuheisels were the parents to Rick Neuheisel, who used to be the coach for like Washington college football, and he
Huh.
was a coach for some other team as well. But they were the owners of this country club, and I grew up uh, playing there. I learned how to play on that course. I worked there for many years when I was a young kid, and I have not been back there in I don't even know how many years. Like it's been probably 15 to 20 years that I've been there.
Wow.
And I Googled it today to see if it was still open, and it sure is. And so I told my wife today, I was like, one of the things, Rick doesn't know this yet, but he'll know as soon as he listens to this podcast. So we're going to play at some really nice course one day, like during the day. And then I want to take him down
Oh,
to
cool.
Tempe, and we're going to go play that 9-hole golf course in the evening. Um, and I can't wait because I have
Memories.
a lot of memories on that
Holy
place. A
shit.
lot. I mean, it was a huge part of my life growing up.
Yeah.
So going back and getting to see it and play it, I think is going to be
That'll be
pretty
wicked
fun.
cool, man.
So I'm super excited. And then hopefully I can talk Nicole into letting me take another trip in February. I got to, man. This is the longest I've gone without playing golf this year. It's killing me
Is it
inside.
is it still snowing out right now?
It was a little bit ago.
Yeah. It's weird.
Well, what have you been up to recently? And then I want to talk a little bit about shop stuff.
What have I been up to? Well, I work, a lot of work, but I had a really good weekend. I was down at Mueller for a couple of presentations, track saws and dominoes. And it was a really cool audience. I think at one time I counted about 30 people, but it was probably average 20 people there. Uh, and it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of patrons in the audience, and it was really cool. But the best part about it, okay, is I get down there Friday after Festool Live and I set up and I walk in and there's John Armenia. he's a he was with Shaper. He works for Shaper. We all know that, but he's also a patron. And
He was there?
oh yeah, he was demoing. He was
Oh, I didn't
selling
know he was going to be
Shapers
there
left
too.
and right. He was
Nice.
selling ton. I think he sold like 3 Origins on Friday alone.
Nice.
It was really cool. So Travis set everything up and he said, Sedge, we're going for wings. And he goes, there's only one problem. And I go, what? He goes, they don't serve beers there. I go, I don't care. We'll pregame somewhere, you know? So we found a brewery. We text John. John joined us. And who else came? Dirk and Stephanie.
Nice.
And we had a hell of a time. Had a couple beers there and then went to chicken. This place is called Chicken Scratch. And I had kind of heard about it from Travis. And we walk in and it smelled like chicken, baby.
Really?
And we were walking on the floor and I was sticking to the floor. And the food, okay, you order your food, go sit down, wait. And it is a hole in the wall fried chicken place, but the wings were phenomenal
Really?
and the French fries were unbelievable. I mean, this place was exceptional. They're in my top 10 wings now. They were that good. And but I was walking around and being obnoxious, sticking to the floor. So You know when you're in a place like that and it just smells like fry-o-later,
Hmm.
fried food? So we leave there. The lady goes, "Hey, how was it?" And I go, "It was horrible." I had everybody laugh. And right, it was great. Her face was precious. So we all crashed. We got stayed at a really nice Hampton Inn. The next morning I woke up, it felt like $1 million. But all of a sudden it was 4 o'clock. I went, maybe I should have left my clothes outside. I smell like chicken ass. It was so bad. You know when you go to a restaurant and their hood sucks and
Yeah.
you just smell of fried food?
Yep.
Oh my God. I had so I went so I went into Mueller at because I only stayed one night. I went to Mueller. I looked at John. I go, "You smell like chicken scratch." He goes, "Oh my God." Everybody smelled like fried food, their rooms. Oh, I was like, I had to tell them at the front desk, "I'm sorry, but I ate a chicken scratch last night. It might smell a little like fried food in there."
You're probably like, oh, we get it all the time. It's fine.
Oh my God. You know what? It
What?
was worth it. Then Travis tells me the first chicken scratch restaurants are in Indianapolis. There's two of them. So I'm
Really?
gonna go check. Yeah, I'll go. We ought to go check it out, man.
Yeah, I want to try these wings. What weekend was this? This wasn't this past weekend, was it?
Yeah, it was past weekend. That was Saturday, and then I saw you guys on Sunday to move. I
So
was exhausted.
did you go there Friday evening?
Yep. Friday evening to set up. After
Why did
Festival
I
Live, I
not
drove
come to
down.
this?
I worked all day Saturday, and I got home about 6:30 at night. I've been on my feet all day. I was spent. And then I woke up and 8:30 we were moving, lugging crap.
I know why I wasn't able to go.
Why?
Because Nicole was at the conference in Arizona.
Gotcha.
Dang
Okay,
it.
so I'm going to bring something up because when I was moving, Leo came up to me and said, "Brian, I'm sad." And I went, "Why?" He goes, Bella is going to go to heaven tomorrow. And that's when I found out. So I wake up. I'm just going to tell this really quick. I'm not going to get all sentimental. I woke up and I every morning I have a routine. 4 o'clock, I let the dogs out. Marianne was off, so she slept in. And Guinness looked great. Dublin looked great. Guinness comes in, she's 13 and a half. She comes in, she does her normal routine. I give her, pain pills, whatever. And she comes and sees me in my office about 6:30. She's fine. Then all of a sudden, Marianne comes down. She sees Guinness on the floor crashing, which she always does. And she goes, "Brian." And I come out and we can't pick her up. She was paralyzed on her left side. So we put her down. So everybody listening, Jason and I lost our dogs on one of our dogs on, go figure, right? The
The
same
same
day.
day.
Go
Yep.
figure.
Yes. Not. And then Ronnie had some stuff happen
What
in
the
his
hell,
family on
man?
Monday. It was not a good day. Not a
Okay.
good day.
So I got one. Can I tell this what happened to me today real quick?
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
we'll
you
talk.
need to.
Oh my God. Okay. So I'm on a meeting all day, but I had to go to, I didn't tell you this, Pat. I had to go, it's Christmas time, right? Everybody's scamming your credit cards. Well, I was trying to use my business account credit card to get a couple of things end of the year, right? And it got declined twice. So I called them and they said, "Did you have some charges?" And they named like three charges. I go, "No, that's not me." She goes, "Your credit card was shut down." So I went in today to get a new one. And then I came home and Marianne goes, "Do you know a detective from Whitestown named blah, blah, blah?" And I go, "No." So we call him back. And this is like 3 o'clock this afternoon, right? And he said, "Hey, do you guys shop at Meyer?" He's kind of, I'm trying to listen to this guy on speakerphone with Marianne. And he sounded legit. He says, I'm a Whitestown detective, and I'm working with loss prevention at this grocery store. And it's the one we go to all the time. It's Meyer. And I'm like, this is really weird. And he goes, I just want you to be honest with us. And I'm like, what the frick is going on? So he goes, I had a picture of you. What he goes, are you Marianne? Blah blah blah. And do you have a silver? Blah blah blah. And is this your? And she goes, yeah, that's. And she goes, your husband's Brian. And blah blah blah. And we go, what's going on? And he goes, well, I'm not saying. I just loss prevention has contacted us, and there's footage of you two in baseball caps ringing things up and basically like Sprite and brown gravy. And I'm like, what the frick is going on? I was at, I had, I was at Hartfield. It couldn't have been us. But I said, we're going to come in just to check. He goes, okay, when you come to the police station, just ring this phone number. So I said, okay. It sounded like a scam.
I thought it was a scam when you called me.
Okay.
It just
Cause I
sounded
didn't know
too
if
fishy.
it was too fishy. But come to find out, we saw the pictures. We started laughing. I go, dude, my wife is not ugly like that. She had this skanky blonde hair, a red baseball cap. Marianne, don't the shit in the cart they had, we don't even know. Sprite and brown gravy. It was on the 23rd. I was, like I said, I was at Hartville. And he looked at me and he said, that's what I thought. And I go, dude, I don't own a black pullover, black pants, or I don't even wear baseball caps. He starts laughing. He goes, okay, case closed. But he goes, let's look at the car. That's your car, right? I go, yeah, that's how you ran us down. And he goes, well, let me go to the timestamp. He goes, your car is not even on the proper timestamp that he sent me this picture of the video. And he goes, I have a problem now with loss prevention because this has happened before where nothing matches up. These people didn't even look like us. And he said, the guy from loss prevention said, yeah, there's a video of you getting in the car. I go, really? I want to see it. What he put two and two together is it's, he goes, he used other footage and put your car in it. And I'm like, so I told him what you said. We were checking our cameras at the house because we thought people were being pulled away. We were being pulled away, and someone was
Yeah.
gonna
So
bust into the house.
after you called me, because I told you about the email that I recently received, and it was very, very believable the way that it was written. And, I did a quick Google search and found out that like within the past couple of months, this particular scam is pretty prevalent. But um, when you had told me what had happened, hearing it now, like hearing it, the longer version of it, like now
Yeah.
it definitely sounds more legitimate, which it obviously was.
Yep.
But my immediate reaction was, man, I wonder if this is like a ploy to get people out of their house
Yes.
so then they can come back. But then I thought about it after texting you, and I'm like, well, having you go to the police station would be the dumbest place to send somebody if you were planning
Yes.
on breaking. Because like, who doesn't have security cameras on their home anymore? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, they're everywhere
So
now.
so we're at the police station. We're relieved now, but we're still checking our video cameras. All of a sudden, somebody comes to the front door, and Marianne kind of freaks out. Well, this is kind of cool. We get home, and there's a beautiful bouquet of flowers from Chewy, who we do business with, the pet supply store,
Mm-hmm.
saying we're sorry for your loss. Because Marianne had to cancel one of the prescriptions with Chewy for Guinness. That's the one, the dog I lost.
Oh,
Is that like a really thoughtful company?
yeah.
Holy
That's
crap,
pretty
is that
impressive.
nice? Yeah, it means I do a lot of goddamn business with them.
Yeah. Reminds me, I need to tell Nicole we need to probably adjust uh,
So,
that order. We use the same service.
yeah. So it's been a hell of a week, but Marianne, she's even telling the detective, she goes, this is cool. Can I take a picture of this interrogation room? This is just like true crime.
Yeah.
It's like because that's what she watches, right? And it was so bizarre. I was like, what is going on? This week has been like constant turmoil. Credit cards getting bumped.
Well,
being
just so you know,
accused.
Nicole and I, we need those hoodies and those baseball caps back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got to go to
Oh my
Meyer
God.
tomorrow. So,
But it looked nothing like us. And that's what I was a little, not peeved, but it was weird.
well, I
It's
mean,
like,
the detective doesn't know though,
yeah,
right?
I
He's
know.
going off of the picture of the car, which is how they tracked you down.
Yep.
You know,
But the thing is when he looked at the video where the guy had timestamped, Mary Ann's car isn't even in that video of the timestamp. He took a timestamp from another video, obviously. And he goes, "You guys show up at Meyer?" I go, "Almost every day." And
yeah,
when Mary Ann looked at the time that they were in Meyer, she was at El Rodeo. So we have,
yeah.
all this proof. And he goes, "Case closed. I'm going to go talk to this LP guy." Oh, Brett Meyer.
Well, it's going to be funny now
So,
when you go back there if they see you. I'm so sorry,
so,
Mr. Sedgley.
so what it is these people, they do it everywhere. They go in and they have a cart full of stuff, but they're swiping things constantly of the same thing that's like 50 cents. Okay, so they got a cart full of
Oh, yeah.
stuff. They show them beeping it, but it's only like the total was like $64 and I guess they got a boatload more stuff.
Yeah. I've seen like TikToks and Instagram reels and stuff of like camera
Oh
footage
my
of
god.
people doing that. It happens at Walmart a ton.
Oh
That's
my
where I
god.
always see it, Walmart.
Marianne could tell you story after story because that's what she does at Lowe's. She watches surveillance videos. She's not loss protection, loss prevention. She just watches how they scam the cashiers, when they do the flim flam with the 20s and 100s and stuff like that.
Hmm.
It's crazy how these people, and it's usually a cycle. They come through and they let everybody know, hey, these people are in town again. Beware, they're doing the flim flam with the 20s or the 50s or the hundreds. It's
So
crazy. And
dumb.
now they're doing the flim flams with the gift cards and all of that during Christmas time. Yeah.
Great world we live in.
Oh, just wonderful. Just wonderful.
Proud to be an American. Proud to be an
Uh,
American.
Proud to be American. Other than that, I just been working on this Midas sauce stand.
You're still not
And
done with that thing?
oh
Golly.
my God, Jason. I just put finish on there and then I was away all weekend. I couldn't do anything last weekend. And now
Yeah.
this weekend we're shooting twice, Saturday and Sunday.
Let me
So,
ask you about this miter saw station because I know how many drawers you built. A
yeah.
lot.
Uh-huh.
Um, what is your plan? I want to start, I want to have a conversation about shop cleanliness and shop organization
Okay.
because this is hot on my mind right now.
Yep.
Um, what are you going to be doing with those drawers? What
Oh,
is your
baby.
intention?
Oh,
Because I know
baby.
you and I have an idea of what I have a feeling I know what you're going to say, but I'm curious.
When I was doing the design video on this, a lot of people say one guy reached out and said in a comment, said you don't need that much storage. Well, I didn't really say what I was thinking or why. And I thought, yeah, I guess I didn't explain that correctly. So I have a set of drawers that has all my hand planes in it, my DeWalt planers on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've often said I gotta organize this. Well, two of those bays will have Kaizen foam in it with my hand planes.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you think about where my bench is, those drawers are right there, and I have all my planes that I need.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, when I look around the shop, I'm I would say almost all of it's gonna be Kaizen foamed because I just love doing it. And there's a couple other banks of drawers I have that I can declutter because they're deep and I wanted shallow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna organize the heck out of them. So when I pull those drawers out, that's the thing I like about Kaizen foam. If something's missing, I know. So I will probably get rid of that. Oh God, I've had it for 30 something years, that plane till that I have, but
Hmm.
I'm gonna have two banks of drawers that are gonna be hand planes. And when the guy said you don't have that much gear, you have no idea how much gear I have. I mean, one of the drawers is going to be on my dividers that I collect, but I also use. And I know I have a bank of drawers underneath my workbench, but those have been cluttered too. So I want to declutter those and organize those a little bit better. Out of the two, four, six, eight drawers I have there. Uh, Probably the real shallow ones are all Kaizen or French fitted that I've had for a while. And every time I open those up, I go, God, I wish every drawer I had in the shop was like this. So there's like two real deep ones or three real deep ones on there that I'm going to organize, but I'm going to bring into there. So, in other words, I will eliminate a few other drawers and consolidate into that system. Because that's the area I'm in the most. My bench and my MFT is right there.
Hmm.
Um, a lot of people say, "Oh, you haven't used all the storage in the back." Yes, I have, and the sys wall, it's all full. I also have another bank of sustainers by the single bay that I'll organize a little bit better. And I think I don't know if you know this, but I get a lot of my consumables down in my basement and sustainers as well.
Hmm.
So plus yeah, it's going to be a lot of hand tools. Um, but uh, it's crazy how much stuff I have, and I have given away a ton of stuff in the
Yeah.
last 5, 6 years. I mean, to a bunch of people. And I know most of them have been real appreciative of it. But uh, I've you remember the episode with Ben about horizontal surfaces
Hmm.
and decluttering. If I don't use it in a year, I get rid of it.
Hmm.
I think he was saying that, right? If I don't use it,
Yeah.
yeah. And he said something about horizontal surfaces, and he's so right, you know. And that's when I really started to think about, hey, am I going to take this with me, right?
Yeah.
Why am I collecting this? Well, there's a lot of stuff that my dad gave me, and some of it was my grandfather's. People have given me some stuff over the years, like just beautiful hand planes and stuff like that. And I'm gonna keep all of that, but there's a lot of stuff I have. It's like, how many goddamn screwdrivers do I need?
Right.
You know, and I want it now since I've been doing this Kaizen foam in my machine chests or whatever. I'm like, holy shit. You know, how many channel locks do I need? Hey, I gave away a bunch of channel locks and I have three Nipex that I use all the time, and that's all I need,
Hmm.
you know? And the one pair of pliers I reach for is I mean, however you pronounce it, Nipex, Nipex, whatever. I, uh, uh, I use the lineman's pliers probably the majority of the time,
Hmm.
you know, and I don't need 10 pairs of needle nose pliers.
Well, 9 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to do. And that's how I'm going to start. The first two bays will be hand planes. And I'll go from there because I'm starting to look at the drawers systems I have in the shop and I'm going to consolidate some stuff like chisels. I get chisels in one drawer on the other side, and then chisels down below. Plus, I have chisels in my till,
Yeah.
you know? And then I just got those blue spruce chisels like you got them. Holy crap. Why do I need all these others?
Yeah. Very, very true. So the reason I'm asking you about the drawers, so I'm having a hard time determining exactly how I want to lay it out, right? Because I saw that you decided to add some deeper drawers on the bottom.
Yep.
And I've done that with every miter saw station that I've had and every assembly table that I've built. I've always left like one or two deep drawers. Without fail, every single time, those drawers turn into gigantic piles of mess because it's where
Okay.
I can throw a bunch of stuff. But at the same time, then I think about it and I go, okay, well, if I didn't have that, where would this stuff be? So they end up being just catch all junk drawers. And like, I'm really trying to get away from that. And I'm really leaning towards like, I want to have just 3 inch after 3 inch after three
Okay.
inch after 3 inch after three, because yes, I'm going to end up having a lot more drawers and I'm going to have a lot less stacking storage. But
Mm-hmm.
when I look at what my frustrations are when it comes to storage, it's any situation where I have things stacked.
Okay.
So I'm really considering that Kaizen foam
Mm-hmm.
thing, even though I do feel like you lose some storage space and it does restrict you in the long run. But if you have twice as many drawers, then you're going to be twice as organized.
Okay, so I'll coach you a little. All right. The reason I went with 4 inch, I got each bay has, see, I even forget. I think I got, yeah, 4 inch.
Four and
Hang
a
on a second.
deep.
Okay, I got 4 inch and a deep. I
Yeah.
went with the deep. I was gonna go in each bay 6 4 inch, but I went with the deep. And the reason is I thought, okay, somebody reached out and said, Sedge, do at least one deep drawer. You won't regret it. I made them wide enough so if I need to put a sustainer in there, I can. Okay. And that works perfect. That's the depth. But here's the thing, I will coach you, coach you, coach you. Don't do that. I would go with all the small drawers. And guess what? I can still do that, but then I'm going to lose all this veneer match. So I won't do it. I like what it is. I've got a few things that I can get in those deep drawers. But what I'm going to do, I think on 3 or maybe 4 of those deep drawers, I'm going to put dual level. I'll put a slider in there.
Mhm.
Follow me so I could pick it out and I'll make those runners on either side so I could put a Kaizen insert and a Kaizen insert, a double stack.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a
Okay.
good idea.
So I may do that. And I thought about this. I'm up to 9 videos already on this. And it's not that I'm tired of it. I just I could keep going on video after video after video. It has to end. So
Mhm.
what I'm gonna do is I get like 4 more. I think we're gonna Chris and I were talking about 4 more. I just ordered today one of those true position uh
The cabinet
yeah,
chairs.
cabinet.
Yeah.
Yep, you got one, right?
Hmm.
Did you get the pro or just the regular?
I've got the Pro. It's like in the sustainer or the little plastic case
Yeah.
and it has the extensions and
Hmm. If
all
I
that.
uh if I ever need to borrow the extensions, I'll borrow them from you. But I just got the $200 one. It looks
Hmm.
really cool. I know everybody I know. I did a lot of reading on it. Everybody I know just did that.
Oh, they let
So
her.
hey,
Ronnie's got one too.
yeah, hey, really quick. This has to do with woodworking too. Did you get a notice in the mail from Shaper Studio
Hmm.
about doing a perpetual?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I got it right here.
Yep. Today's the last day.
Ooh, I better do that.
Yep, I did it today.
Well, let's see. We're offering you $100 discount on the perpetual license. Scan the QR code below. Oh yeah, so I just need to do this.
Offer ends December 11th.
Ooh, I better do it. Yeah.
Yep, just wanted to bring it up because I did it. It's so worth it. Now I got studio forever.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
need to do that. Thanks for reminding me. I'll do that tonight when Leo's laying in bed. Um, you know the spot. So I am like what next year. I have decided that I'm probably not going to be doing any more build videos of any sort um, of furniture or project pieces or anything like that on my regular channel. I think next year the plan is I very well may start a second channel that is just build videos, and I'm probably going to end up this is probably not the smartest thing to do in the world, but I'm going to take all the build videos that are on my current channel and I'm just immediately going to just go list all of them there
Mm.
and moving forward, not be like worried about, okay, I need to get a build video done when I have them. I'll put them there. It'll drive more traffic over there, but they just don't perform well on my channel.
Hmm.
But what I will do is shop furniture type stuff. And one thing that I would really like to do next year is focus more on the shop organization and shop optimization, I guess you could
Hmm.
say.
Oh yeah.
And this is all spurring from I've always liked the idea of being uber organized. I just never have felt like it's enough of a priority for me to focus on it. But now I'm just getting so OCD about it when I watch my videos and when I watch myself or the editing on just how busy everything looks. And I want to
Mm.
clean everything up and I want it to just match, right? So like all of my Omni wall is coming down. Not that I don't like it; it's phenomenal stuff. But I feel like I'm past that part where I like to have the stuff just out. It's all going to be behind cabinet doors. It's all going to be in drawers. I'm tired of the audience members not um, focusing on what it is that I'm saying, rather focusing on the wall of festival tools behind me. Like, granted, that's not my problem, but if there's something that I can do to help the situation to try to get people to focus, and then every time I open up a drawer, I get anxiety. I'm like, I hate this. I had to open up the drawer today to get something out of my TSO products drawer. Like I have a drawer that just has all TSO products. It's stuff just stacked on top of one another. And every time
Hmm.
I go to grab something, it's a huge pain in the butt. And when I go to put it back in, it's like sitting on top of a bench dog and it won't close the drawer. Like I hate that.
Hmm.
And
Me too.
that's now the level that I have
So
gotten to.
so it's funny because I have to be careful because I don't want to keep putting things in these drawers because I got to take them out, put them back in. But I actually have, it sounds funny. I have a TSO drawer.
Oh yeah. I got a
It's
TSO
real.
drawer, a Bessie drawer, a woodpecker
Yep.
drawer.
Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, it's easier that way. I have multiple Festool drawers that have all of the accessories from the
Hmm.
routers because I don't use the sustainers. But it's just a mess. It's a nightmare. And the whole idea of Kaizen foam, I love the idea. I just don't necessarily love the process, but I'm going to do it.
I do.
I know you do. I even have all the tools to cut everything, and I still don't do it.
It and there's a reasoning. It's a Sunday afternoon. We're done shooting. Chris leaves. And this is the times I've always done it. It's so easy. I bring out like, the machinist chests I have, right? The
Mhm.
steel ones. I pull out the drawer, cut out the foam, I put it in there, and I start organizing the tools I'm going to put in there. Then crack open it's my time. I crack open a beer, I draw them in, and I cut them out. It doesn't have to be perfect. Then all of a sudden I put it back in and maybe I'll open it up a week later and go, God damn, that was worth the hour and a half because I know exactly. What's really cool is when Marianne comes down, she goes, and I've labeled the outside. She goes, she knows where the pliers are, and she goes over. She knows exactly where to put them back,
Yeah.
and I know when they're missing.
So you're somebody that's used it a lot. Here's my biggest concern with Kaizen foam. Let's say I lay everything out for all of the items that I have at that
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's use your Nipex pliers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you lay everything out and in a year you end up buying a new one that's in between two sizes. Like then what do you do? Do you just redo the whole thing or do you just put it where there's space
Okay, so you can, but when I design the layout, I also leave extra space here and there,
just in case like
just
you
in
get
case.
another item from that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's my only that's my
And,
only thing that's
and
holding me back.
okay, so it's so inexpensive. And if people are, or you are that OCD, it's okay. Just, spend another $10, get another piece of foam and cut it all in with that new piece in there.
Yeah. I don't know.
You
I
can also
do agree
you can
with you.
also use the shaper and trace.
I know. I did think about that as well. But I mean, that's so overkill. And then people would
It
just,
is.
their
It's
heads
so
would
cool.
explode if
It's
I was doing
so
that.
cool. You see Brian at Kaizen Source, some of the stuff he does when he cuts it out, when people say, "Hey, you send me all these machinist chests and cut out everything for all of this," and he does it all on his CNC and cuts it all out.
Yeah.
It's breathtaking. I mean,
Yeah.
breathtaking. He has
Actually, man,
great.
that would be a fun thing. Like, okay, this week, this is my Kaizen foam week, and all I do all day, every day, is Uber organize all of my stuff.
And guess what? People say, "Oh, I don't have that much time when I do a Kaizen video." Oh, yeah. And I go, it's front end time. I look at the stuff I've done, like my wood owl bits. I have a sustainer that's Kaizen with all my wood owl bits. I know exactly where they are. I pull out the tray, I look, and I get them organized. They're not all rattling around. It protects the bits, it protects everything, it protects your chisels. Because when you pull that drawer open, it's rattling and bumping it against something. It's dulling blades.
Mhm.
Think about it like that. It's really good. It's good for your tools.
Dang it.
How
You're
many
not
times you
helping.
open up a drawer and you got 20 screwdrivers in there? All the noise, right? Guys
Yeah.
in foam, you just open it up. Oh, there's in it. You could see it really quick. There it is. Boom. I don't have to go. Oh, not this one. Oh, not this one. Oh, not this one.
Yeah. So here's what I'm thinking. I've already talked about I want to change my assembly table setup because I'm no longer using it the way that I had designed it
Mm-hmm.
since getting the slider. And I will say next year, it's very likely that the Felder slider will end up in my shop. So I think when I get that, it's going to be even more of a reason for me to not need that large surface, even though what I'm considering doing is still going to end up being a large surface. But here's my thought process. So right now I have a good amount of storage in my assembly table, right in the base. Well, I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting rid of that base. I'm getting rid of the three MFTs that are in there, and I'm going to do one of two things. I'm either going to turn two of them long ways, and then that'll be my front side where I typically stand, and then on the back side I want to add that Schoberg's workbench. And it'll kind of be a hybrid, right? I could make something, I know, and a lot of people are going to ask why I didn't do that. I don't know what I don't know. I need time to figure out what I like and what I don't like. You and I have had that discussion. So
Mm-hmm.
a Schoberg's workbench will be fine. And if I ever decide I want to get rid of it and make my own, it'll be pretty easy to get rid of. So that's what I want to do because I really do want to start incorporating the hand tool side of things. I've also considered Dashboard actually makes one long work table. I've actually thought about deciding to use that on the front side and actually not putting any storage underneath it and just having it be open and utilizing because the miter saw station that I want to build, I'm going to say it's a miter saw station, but in reality, all it is a whole bunch of base cabinets and a whole bunch of upper cabinets. I'm going to put my miter saw station on there, but there's a part of me that's actually been going, do I really need to do that? Right? Because I'm using it
Mm.
less and less and less now that I have the slider. But it is really nice to be standing at my assembly table and turn around and just make a cut really quick. So it's probably going to stay. I really like the idea of the wings being there as opposed to needing the full surface. Um, but I want to start with the miter saw station because that is going to maximize all of that new storage to where I don't need it in the assembly table anymore. And then once that's done, then
Mm-hmm.
I can work focus on the assembly table piece or the assembly area, which again is not going to be anything that I build at this point. It's probably just going to be things that I purchase. And then where I have, where I had my drill press that's on top of those
Yep.
metal husky chests.
Mm-hmm.
I want to pull everything off that wall to include those upper cabinets. And I want to do the same thing, build the same cabinets, same look all across the bottom over there, have a bunch more drawers,
Mm-hmm.
maybe incorporate some sustainer pull-out trays. So like that's something I've been thinking about doing is almost doing a hybrid on the miter saw station where I have nothing but shallow drawers, and then on like the right side of the miter saw, it's just sustainer pullouts, kind of like your wall at Festool or your wall at your house.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's kind of a hybrid because most of the things that I have in my assembly table are sustainer pullouts. So I've been considering that. Um, but between that wall, everything looking the same in that corner, and then the assembly or the miter saw station, everything looking exactly the same, not only will it clean up the space for video and just in general, but I honestly believe it's going to give me way more storage than what I have now.
And it's going to save you time. Sorry, I hate searching for things.
Mm-hmm.
I just hate searching for things because you have it.
Mm-hmm.
I and I think sometimes even at work, people hide stuff on me because they know it drives me bonkers over the years because I know exactly where everything is in that wall.
Right.
But once again, I do misplace things sometimes because I'm in a rush. So that's what I do. Like this morning, I went in early and I was organizing stuff. I am constantly cleaning and organizing just because I have this thing in my head, a place for everything and everything in its place.
Yeah.
And I get that from my father and my mother. Just super duper organized their whole lives. And they made sure we were organized, all four of us, my siblings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah, man, I can't. We had so much fun at Thanksgiving. It was so cool. Yeah, there was a lot of people in the house, dude.
Yeah.
And now Jennifer, Alex, Danny, and Christina will be up here for Christmas. Jen and Al are going to be here for 2 weeks, and I think Christine and uh, Daniel are just flying in for the weekend.
When are they getting
Yeah.
here?
Next they're gonna get here on the 20th, I think, that Friday.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. It's just it's cool. It's yeah, they're all excited. They got their tickets and everything. Yeah, they're all flying in on the 20th. Yeah.
Look who I've got.
What do you got?
Made his way in again.
Oh, there's Tank.
Huh? Yeah, but
Hey,
they can't
hi.
see on the camera. They're
Hi
just in their
guys.
undershirts. Max, can you say hello to everybody?
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
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 It's okay.
How
Say
my
bye bye.
buddies?
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Go to mommy. Oh, Max. Oh, go to mom. Bye, Brian.
Bye.
I
God, they're adorable.
love how he says Brian now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they're wild, man. He is.
Hey, I don't mean to bring this up again, but I'm gonna. That post that you reposted from Nicole of Bella,
Ugh.
and I'm gonna tell you that was a great post. Just seeing the boys in there, huh?
Her posts always kill me. You know why?
Yeah, I
Because
know,
she
man.
always picks this music that
Yeah.
is, she did it for like, my retirement, for something else recently, like a Veterans Day thing. And I'm just like, God damn you, honey. I have to listen to him on mute because I'm like, whatever song she's going to have on there is going to make me all emotional like a
I
big baby.
know. Yeah, so I was watching and I was like, God, it's amazing how a pet I even hate that word. A dog can be so much a part of you, you know?
Yeah.
And Marion always say, Guinness was your girl. You picked her. And she came when we were at the I'll never forget the day we picked her up. She was 8 weeks, and she was the only female of the litter. And they put a bandana on her, and she came the last one out of the house. There was, I think, 8 of them, and she came flying, jumping off the porch onto all her brothers, and I went, "That's better be my girl."
Yeah.
And it was. Marianne goes, "Oh no, we are. Oh no, she's a tough boy. She was the runt, and she was a tough, tough dog." And you know what? I told Marianne, I go, we were lucky because, and I'm not getting all sentimental. It's just 3 years ago, she was given 5 months to live because she had cancer of the mouth, whatever. And I don't want to say it went away, but she's just a tough girl. She, we had a great time with her. And even the kids will say, they have better rooms than we did growing up in Fort Lauderdale.
Nicole and I were talking about it because we ended up Pepper and Bella both are rescue dogs, and we ended up getting Bella because we only had Pepper, and it was like, oh, it'd be nice for kind of why we have Max, right? It'd be nice for them to have a friend. So, only we didn't rescue Max from the pound. So when I found Pepper, I knew it was like one of those connections, like you were just talking about. I went in and I was like, oh, that would be a cool dog. That'd be a cool dog. And then I saw Pepper. I'm like, that's the one right there. I don't care what it takes. We want her. When I went to go see Bella, Nicole actually asked me to go, and she's like, go check out this dog. She was subscribed to a bunch of like Facebook pages for local dog shelters, which is the biggest mistake ever if you're an animal lover. Like, do not do that. Because then you want every freaking dog. Well, Bella was put on there, and if she wouldn't have been adopted, she would have been put down.
Yeah.
And this is when she was really young. And I remember going there, and you could look at her and tell. She was a blue nose pit, and she had been bred.
Beautiful, by the way.
She had been bred. Like they had like had a litter of puppies, and then they basically just kicked her to the curb. And when I saw her, I was like, man, I don't know. Like, she looks really rough. Like, I don't know how she's going to get along with Pepper. But because I obviously didn't want her to be put down the very next day, if somebody did not get her then, I was like, all right, well, let's do it. And thank God we did. Right. So when I think about that, it makes me feel a little bit better about it. But I will say that last night, I'm going to try not to say this too loud because I don't want him to hear me. It hit Leo finally last night after we went to bed, and that was heartbreaking.
Yep.
So hopefully, because he hasn't really reacted to it so much. Like, he's just been asking a lot of questions because we kind of prepared him. But last night, just out of the blue, and it was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
It's quiet around here. We were worried about Dublin, and she seems fine. Marianne was worried because Marianne told me Dublin's never been alone. I go, what do you mean? We leave her when you take Guinness and Kay to the, no. She's always with me. I went, oh.
Yeah.
So we were worried. No, I take pictures when I leave in the morning, and I go, hey, you still worried? She's out. She's zonked out. She's tired, So we're pleasantly surprised how she's handling it. So that's what we were worried about the most.
We had a service that comes to the house and does it in home, which she was amazing. And I still cannot believe that there are people that actually do that for a living.
Yeah.
That's got to be the most heartbreaking job ever. But that was a question that I asked the woman that was here. She's a vet, right? And she said that dogs are animals that are very much live in the moment. They don't focus on the past, and they don't ever really think about the future. It's just about what's happening in front of them. She's like, she might like come sniff her when this is all done, she might be able to tell something that we're not able to tell, and that might bother her a little bit. But yeah, for the most part, she's been
Fine.
fine. So
Good.
hopefully it
Good.
stays that way.
I love Peppa.
Yeah.
She's got such a pretty brindle coat, you know. She's a cool dog.
She seems to have quite a bit left in her. We'll see.
Yep.
Hopefully get a couple more years out of her.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
oh, before we jump off, there is one thing that did happen, and I got the drywall stuff repaired.
You did have it done.
Yeah, I totally forgot to mention that.
How'd it come out? Nice. Good match, everything?
Yeah, the drywall repair itself is great. And I mean, the majority of it's on that wall that's going to be covered with cabinets anyways. So like they put 2 coats on, and I explained to them the situation, like just this section's going to get repainted. Everything else is going to be covered with cabinets. I'm not super worried about it. But the ceiling, they did a really, really good job. Whatever stamp they used in the house previously, I don't know if it was just a newer, like it hadn't been used as much as the one that they used. This one is kind of more of a multiple finger stamp, where the one that they used was the same one, but it's just been used for so long that like it would have a tendency to only come out as like 5 or 6.
Yep.
Periodically, you'd see ones that are more matched to the original. But you go in the kitchen, and I mean,
You can't tell.
no, there's like, if you're really staring, like the only way you can really tell is because as of right now, I haven't scraped it yet. I'm probably going to go through and scrape it real lightly.
Mm-hmm.
Is there's a couple sections where it's just a little bit heavier than the others because it's so new.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a guy here, but matter of fact, a local guy, the guy I went to lunch with yesterday, David.
Yep.
Super good dude, by the way. He owns a remodeling company, and he had told me, he's like, just take like a 12 to 18 inch, blade, lightly scrape it. It'll knock down all those high spots. He goes, you will not be able to tell. He goes, they did a pretty good job matching it. He goes, as soon as you paint it, you're never going to know.
Yeah.
So they did a really good job, and like you can't even tell where the old lights were. The only way you can really tell now is like one time of the day where the light's coming in just
Yeah, it's always that way.
Yeah, but
You'll have
that's it.
So who will know are people that are in your house? You, Nicole, you can
Right.
see it that light of day. No one else can ever tell.
No. So yeah, they did a great job. They were awesome. Showed up in the morning on a Saturday, and I think he was leaving by like 7 p.m. that night. They were done heading out.
Cool.
So yeah, went really well.
It's all done.
Now I can start the cabinets, which I was planning on. I was trying to coordinate this whole thing where like I was going to get Aaron at Fine Line to help out and cut everything on the CNC, and then I was going to assemble everything. And I'm just, in order for me to like get my design perfect and then give it to him so he can put it in the software and then go through everything else. And then when they have time, like at this point, I just want to start building it.
Yeah.
My goal was to have it all
out.
done by Christmas, and that's not going to happen. So
You can knock it out. Not by Christmas, but knock it out, man.
yeah, I'm just going to do it myself. So I need to place an order with Frank Miller because I actually want to go with Riffson white oak, but plywood core, not MDF core for the cabinet construction. Too much of it will be visible when you open it up, so I'm actually going to use quite a bit of the white oak. They got pretty good pricing on it, so
Cool.
get that ordered and get started on that project.
Yeah, man. I'm looking at a few cool things for next year around the house. And I got to remember, I got another house to work on here soon. I would imagine Chris and Emily will have some stuff that they need done, and we'll do some content on that.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
He was with us this week, and the unit was with us moving, and boy, he was exhausted on Monday.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm actually I'm going to see him
kid.
tomorrow.
What a good kid.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Well, I'm going to head upstairs and be with the craziness.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get some sleep.
Good idea. I will too eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually. Thank you, everybody, for listening to 165. Sorry that Ronnie could not be here. And if you're going to be on, well, no, Bourbon with the Boys is now moved to the 20th,
Yeah.
which I did
And
put it out. Everybody understands.
everybody, I want to thank you for listening. And if you like what you listen to, go give us a nice comment and rating on Apple and Spotify. We really appreciate it. And whether you're a patron or not, we really appreciate you. So thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to the Three Splinters podcast.
Bye-bye.
Three Splinters.
Bye-bye. Three Splinters. Bye-bye.
Every time. It's never. Oh, no. Max and Leo are coming to say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.